Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to speak about the match between Manchester City and Real Madrid. It's only going to be a match review of like 1 to 2 minutes. It's not going to take that long. I just want to give my definitive conclusions after the first leg because there is still a second leg that will be played 6 to 7 days from today. But the majority of this video is going to be about Pep Guardiola speaking about how Barcelona's current team is one of the best versions that has ever been assembled, and that is by Hansi Flick. So we are going to be comparing what Guardiola's Barcelona was like, what Luis Enrique's Barcelona was like, and most importantly, what Hansi Flick is bringing to the table currently. So if you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. I'm happy that you guys are here. If you guys are FC Barcelona fans, this is going to be the channel for you. 99% of the time, yes, we do speak about FC Barcelona, but that 1% is about football in general. So there is going to be some content outside of FC Barcelona, and one of them is going to be in this video. So let's talk about the Man City versus Real Madrid match. So I do think that the 2-3 result, it is a strong outcome for Manchester City. It is not impossible for Man City to not win the second leg. I still think that there is a 45 to 50% chance that City can go through to the next round. It's not the best result, but it's not like City got demolished by Madrid at their home 3-0. It's still a 2-3 scoreline. And the main reason why it remained a 2-3 scoreline is because Ancelotti came in with a very conservative approach, right? We did not see the most definitive side of Real Madrid. We did not see a high attacking, high momentum Madrid that is led by Mbappe and Vinicius. But Madrid did just enough. Madrid were always in moments to attack, and City's defense just looked very vulnerable. No communication, so many misplaced passes. This is what the City team is today. And even though Madrid equalized twice in this match, which was the 1-1 and 2-2, like I've said, the 2-3 scoreline, it is a scoreline that I do think will lower City's confidence, but it is not completely over for the team. And I do think that after so many trials and so many times where City have lost their lead through the season, you would assume that City might have learned these lessons and know how to not lose a lead, or maybe at the very least learn how to come back from going from a 1-0 up to a 1-1 tie. Like really, you would really assume that City might learn to come back from these moments, but they have not learned from that. And this 3-2 scoreline just continues to show that City's mentality is not that strong. So for sure, this is a City side that will struggle going to the Champions League next season, because right now City are in 5th place in the Premier League, and it just shows their overall form. City is not good enough to be Champions League material. One of the biggest problems that City do have today is they have no true definitive difference makers in the attack. Like for example, when we speak about FC Barcelona, a difference maker is Rafinha. He is the one that can just get goals out of nothing. Lamine Yamal is also a difference maker who can find those key passes. But City, they have nothing. They don't have any players right now who can threaten all areas of the pitch or make deep runs or stretch the defense or create chaos for the opposition. Players like Foden and Savinho are supposed to provide things like that, but they're not in top form. Pep Guardiola cannot get the best out of these two bright young stars. So City is far from being a stable club. It's not over. I want to make it very clear, it's not over. City, the fact that they can continue to be competitive in this competition, which is once again a 3-2 scoreline, it's impressive, but City are not nowhere near the level that they were at from the past 2 to 3 years. So speaking about Manchester City, I want to speak about what Pep Guardiola had to say about Barcelona's current status and what he thinks about this Barcelona team. So this is what he stated yesterday. At the moment, this is probably one of the best versions of Barcelona in recent years. The team is performing exceptionally this season, and we can compare it to the best versions of FC Barcelona. So I really do appreciate these words coming from Pep, because I really also agree that when it comes to speaking about Hansi Flick's Barcelona, this is a very strong Barcelona side, a Barcelona side that does get me very excited, and a team that I do want to see because they can score a lot of goals. And like I've said, I want to compare what Hansi Flick's Barcelona is like to Luis Enrique's and Guardiola's, because they are very much different styles. We are nowhere near the version of Pep Guardiola or Luis Enrique. So I am going to be speaking about 8 to 10 different points. Let's speak about the tactical formation, flexibility, and philosophical foundations. With Guardiola, we did employ a very consistent 4-3-3 formation. We were centered on the tiki-taka type of style, strict positional play, emphasizing the juego de posesión philosophy. In the Luis Enrique era, we also played in a 4-3-3, but we were fluid. We sometimes did form a 3-4-3 or a 3-4-2-1, and that is because of Jordi Alba's ability to go to the final third, and we maximized the verticality and the attacking brilliance of the MSN. With Hansi Flick, we do see a dynamic blend between the 4-3-3 and the 4-2-3-1, a formation that enables rapid transitions and high-intensity vertical play, aligning with one of the most modern tactical demands in today's times. So in terms of who has been the most vertical team, right, to the most high-intensity, very direct style of play, it is Hansi Flick first, Luis Enrique second, and third comes Pep Guardiola. Now in terms of the pressing and defensive strategies, which is going to be point number 2, Guardiola utilized a high-pressing, Jagen pressing pressing system to recover the possession quickly and to control the game's tempo because he did not like losing the ball. Hence the reason why Xavi and Iniesta were always starting. With Luis Enrique, we adopted a balanced pressing approach. So it was a mix of maintaining great defensive solidity, right? A little conservative at the back, but at the same time, when Barcelona did have the ball, whether it was through Messi, Neymar, or Suarez, we launched a very fast counterattack. And that is because Luis Enrique had the blessing to go on a straight counterattack with only 3 players, which is the MSN. So the midfield and the defensive line stayed at the back while the MSN stayed very high and waited for the ball to be recovered. With Hansi Flick, he does emphasize a lot of aggressive high-line pressing with a narrow defensive shape, resulting in a very advanced position recoveries, averaging 6 per game and disrupting the opponent's build-up. So I'm talking about like Hansi Flick wants his players to win the ball in the final third, which is to force errors from either the goalkeeper or the defensive line. With Luis Enrique and Guardiola, they did not have that. They won the majority of the ball in the middle of the pitch or in their defensive half. In terms of the attacking dynamics and goal scoring, Guardiola relied on a lot of passing sequences and positional rotations to create patient, well-constructed goal scoring opportunities. Everything was very well organized. With Luis Enrique, he just leveraged the power of his attacking players like Messi, Suarez, and Neymar to exploit any defensive vulnerabilities as fast as possible. And with Hansi Flick, he has revolutionized Barcelona's offense. I mean, like, we have seen so many high-scoring games, and we have just seen one against Valencia where it ended 5-0. Currently, right now, we have 109 goals in 35 matches, reflecting a, I would say, rejuvenated and renewed offensive power and team harmony. Keep in mind that Hansi Flick is the first coach after like 20 years of having an attack without Lionel Messi. Guardiola, Luis Enrique had the blessing to have Messi in their squad. With Hansi Flick, he had to think of something different, and he's able to find that formula without Messi, which is very impressive. And he's able to utilize players like Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, and Lewandowski. And this is also a front three that is nowhere near the level of the MSN. In terms of the adaptation to game scenarios and tactical flexibility, when Guardiola was struggling, he did maintain a very consistent possession-focused approach regardless of the match situation. Like, we rarely saw Guardiola change his tactics. With Luis Enrique, he adjusted his tactics based on the opponent, at times adopting a more conservative approach in challenging games. With Hansi Flick, he does demonstrate a lot of strategic adaptability. Like, he does this 99% of the time. He even changes things if he wants to in the second half, and we have seen that happen multiple times. I would even say that he has a backup plan in case Barcelona do go down to 10 men. Like, there's a reason why Barcelona do very well with 10 men is because he is prepared for that type of scenario. So in terms of who is the most flexible and dynamic and well prepared for certain situations, it is Hansi Flick. And so look, Guardiola did revolutionize football with his possession-based tiki-taka type of style. I do think that whatever Guardiola did show with the Barcelona at his time is not responding well enough in today's times, because in today's modern game, it has increased in pace and physicality, which is the reason why Guardiola is struggling right now. And your philosophy of football does need to change. With Luis Enrique, he integrated elements of direct style of play from Barcelona's traditional framework and also counter-evolving tactical challenges. So like I've said, Luis Enrique was a mix between what we see with Hansi and what we saw with Guardiola. Hansi Flick, though, he does embrace a fully modern tactical strategy, focusing on quick transitions, verticality, disrupting conventional positional play to meet the demands of contemporary football. He's very high risk, nowhere near as conservative as Guardiola's Barcelona. Like, this guy is just so super high risk. He's like, I want all my players up top, I want all the players pressing, I want the defensive line in the middle of the pitch, and I want Lamine Yamal and Lewandowski and Rafinha to win the ball first. Everything is super one touch. A lot of the plays do go through the middle, and Hansi Flick definitely wants to see a 3-4-0 scoreline, even if that means that Barcelona have to have less of the ball. Because like I've said, in today's modern times in football, game plans like this do work. And I do think that a lot of it has to do with like the psychological side, meaning that like if you beat a team 3-0 or 4-0 and you give the opposition a couple of chances and they miss, which we have seen a lot of times with Barcelona, or like they see too many offside goals, the opposition is just going to get tired and they're going to be like, bro, like we tried everything and like we missed, and we tried also this goal scoring opportunity, but we were caught offside. Like, they end up getting psychologically down, I would say, which is part of the reason why Hansi Flick's football is so successful, because it just makes the opposition think like, okay, like we tried so many times, we have scored so many goals, which was also ruled offside, yet they just scored another 3 goals, and like just forget it. Like, we can't play against this team. So I really do believe that whatever Hansi Flick is teaching at Barcelona is going to evolve Barcelona's philosophy. Whenever Flick does leave, Barcelona will officially play like a much different team. It's no longer going to be the Guardiola effect or the Luis Enrique effect. It is going to be the Hansi Flick effect, an effect that does bring great results to Barcelona. Like, don't get me wrong, Guardiola left an incredible legacy by transforming global football, not just FC Barcelona. And even though right now we're seeing Hansi Flick in his early stages, you can see what he's trying to do. Like, we have not won a single trophy. Yes, we won the Spanish Super Cup, but I like to say that we have not won a single trophy, because that should be our mentality. But overall, yes, it's still very early. We'll wait to see how his football does make us win trophies, because we still need to win the big three, right? The Copa del Rey, Champions League, and La Liga. But so far, so good. The high intensity and verticality really does make these players improve. And so yes, it is one of the best versions of Barcelona that we have seen in a very long time. You don't get the best out of a 17-year-old right winger like Lamine Yamal on accident, nor with Kubarsi, nor with Gavi, or with Alejandro Balde, or anybody else. It's not on accident. All of this is very much well thought, and the game plan does work. So that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.